this video, we're going to look at the anchor pseudo-classes. These are for the ahref. These are the pseudo-classes of alink, avisited, ahover, and aactive. Let's go ahead and get started. You notice again I have my index.html open. Again, I want to encourage you to open up your Atom text editor, and I have my project set up under my website. I have a CSS folder, an images folder, and an index.html. Go ahead and type HTML, hit enter. I have a CSS class here that's already created, so I'm going to go ahead and create a link to this. And this is in my CSS, so we'll take out the master and we'll call this style because that's the name of my style sheet. And we're going to create just a link, and we're going to demonstrate what happens with that link. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here in creating our link is we want to, let's see here, we're going to create a link and we're going to call it anchor. And this anchor is going to go to https://www.google.com. And over here, we're going to say Google. And for the purposes of testing this link so you can see the visited, we're going to use a target. And we're going to use _blank. Oops. _blank. What _blank will do is force the link to open in a new window, and this will give us the ability to test that the link has been visited. All right, at this point, with what we've typed, I can click refresh, and we have our link. And the link is basically just showing the default values. So what we want to do is in our style page, we want to basically type in the following codes here. Let's see, we want to type in A with the pseudo class of link. And this is our opening declaration block. And we want to give this a color of red. And then we're going to say for our visited, we'll say A, visited declaration block with a color of green. And for a hover, we'll say a hover declaration block, and we're going to give this a color of, let's see, purple. Say a, let me see here, we want to do active declaration block, and we're going to give the color of blue. Okay, we have basic information here about representing our colors. We're going to go back and refresh our page, and because we've already clicked on this link on another video, it's going to automatically show green. We're going to change that link. We're going to call it, instead of going to Google, we'll have it go to www.yahoo.com, and we'll change this to Yahoo. All right, that should be something that we haven't visited before, so we can see the actual colors. So we have the link is red, green, purple, and blue. Refresh it, there we go. So our link is red, and we have a visited of green. So if we click on it, it's going to open a new window, and of course it's going to open up Yahoo. If we go back, visited is now green. If we hover, it's purple, and if I click and hold, it's now blue, right? And of course, if I click on it again, it's going to take me onto the site. All right, so this is real quickly demonstrating the use of the pseudo classes for the anchor. Okay, additionally, you can also use the pseudo class hover on other elements like the div tag. Let's go ahead and demonstrate a quick tooltip example that you can use. We're going to create here is a div, and inside the div we'll call it hover me. And then inside this div, we're going to create a secondary div, and we'll call this hidden text. And the secret is in the sauce. And the outer div is hover over me to see the secret. Okay, now we have simple div here with another one nested, and there you go. That's what it produces. So how do we get this to work? Well, first of all, we're going to specify that our div classes here, so we have div hover me, and we have div hidden text. And so for our div hidden text, we want this to be hidden, right? So we're going to say display is none, and we want to give it, let's see, we want this to really stand out. So let's give this a background color of yellow and a border of 1px solid red, and we're going to really make it big. So let's give it a padding of 35. Now at this point, if I refresh, it's going to hide and it won't show these other portions. So when we hover over this, we want it to do the thing. We want it to cause it to appear. So we have div hover me. We're going to say hover, and we're going to tell it to display the div. And the way we do that is we say display is block, and this should work if we refresh it and hover. There you go. Now we're hovering over the div. It's causing this text to show up. The secret is in the sauce. You may not be able to see my cursor on the video recording here, but I'm hovering my cursor over the text. To make this more apparent, one of the things I'm also going to do is I'm going to say div hover dash me with a hover on it, hover class, and I'm going to cause the color of the text I'm hovering over to change to blue, so we have a little bit of a better display of what's happening. So there, I'm hovering over the text, and of course it changes the text to blue. My cursor is on it. You can't see my cursor because the recording is not showing it for some reason. But this shows how to use as well the hover class over things like divs.